Will Smiles from Black Community TV talking to Gael García Bernal regarding his role in Roger Ross Williams' first feature debut. Cassandro, how are you?
Very good. How are you, Wilson?
Good. So, how did this come about? For Roger's first movie, obviously you were his best candidate. How did that come about for you?
Well, one day I'm actually right now in New York, and it was not very far from here at a hotel. We saw each other for a coffee, and he said, at that point it was just an idea, like I've been trying to do, this kind of thing for Cassandro. I did this short film documentary and stuff. And immediately what drew my attention was lucha libre, no, the world of lucha libre, because I grew up with that, and that's always been something very, very exciting for me, but also the idea of making it into of doing that. In Mexico there was a whole genre of lucha libre films. So I was like, yes, of course, as a Mexican, I have to do a lucha libre film one day, eventually, and so maybe this was the opportunity, and I started to, throw good vibes and wish that it got made. And little by little, the pieces started to fall together, and it was until my production company we got involved that we said, okay, let's do this. No, let's do this. Let's land this, and let's make this film. And yeah, it became a reality with all the collaborators joining in, and yeah, now we can say, because every film is a little bit of a miracle. Now we can say, okay, we've managed we managed to do it.
When did you first meet the real Cassandra? Was it during production? Was it as you were putting this together to get to know him so you're prepared to embody him on camera?
We just everything was there on let's say in the book, like there were many documentaries about Cassandro also, where he kind of like, throws himself out there. And so a lot of the aspects of the information were there in order to portray or interpret the Cassandro that he interprets, because at the same time he's doing an interpretation of he's doing a character in order to find himself. He's doing another character. So we talked on the phone briefly before before starting to shoot, but unfortunately he had a health condition before we started to shoot, and so he was out for a little while, and we didn't speak to him again until he was able to come back into the world, and kind of like we were in Ciudad Juárez shooting the last week of
Mhm.
shooting, and he came, and that was really beautiful. That was really nice to see him and to meet him in person for the first time there.
Mhm. Not only you acting in this movie, obviously, you're performing in this. It's a physical role as well. How much, did you do, in terms of working out, wrestling? I grew up, I'm Latino también, I remember Mil Mascaro, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I remember, wrestling with my brothers in the house and pretending, okay, let's not knock anything over and break, so that's not easy. But when you have to do it on camera, who did you train with?
Oh man, yes. So you know the feeling, man. It was amazing because me too, with my brother and all my friends, and we used to trash the rooms completely, and jump from you know, and I was interpreting sometimes Atlantis or Octagon or El Rayo de Jalisco, and we would like El Perro Aguayo, Los Porquis, like there were these fantastic wrestlers. And to train, first I gained a lot of weight, and ate a lot and did a lot of exercise for like 6 months. And then 2 months before starting to shoot, I started to do the proper wrestling training. And that was fantastic. That was incredible because I was there with all this with all these wrestlers, and it was Chessman and Tejano Jr., who are fantastic wrestlers nowadays. They work in La Triple A. That was the organization that helped us and that kind of nurtured us into the world of lucha libre. And so we were working out with them, and doing, learning from the very specifics and the very elementals of this, like learning how to fall, knowing how to use the ropes. It is very complicated. It's not easy. I mean, learning how to fall is a good technique to learn in life, but using the ropes, it's a good technique also to learn in life, but it's really complicated not to hurt yourself, because they're really, really hard and they're very powerful. You can really like come out and just go out with an explosion there. So it's all it all requires little details, and practice and hurting yourself a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's part of the thing. Yeah.
You have this movie out, you have Iron Claw coming out, so wrestling's a thing nowadays. Do you have a new appreciation for wrestling when you watch it on TV?
I've always admired it, and but now what I love is that with Cassandro we could do a film that also glorifies the sport as well. The dedication and the toughness and the ability and the just the athleticism that this wrestlers need to have in order to be able to compete, because it is that, and also performing, and also giving a good spectacle, giving a good show. So it's fantastic. I love it. Yes, it gave me another point of view of like, I knew it was difficult, but I didn't know how difficult it was. And then I didn't know how fantastic it was as well, because I used to love it, but now, man, I mean, I love the fact that I was able to play with it, and do it, and that we're adults there, enjoying ourselves as kids, and being able to also the camaraderie that occurs in lucha libre. It is a good friendship. I don't know why wrestling, maybe mostly in the United States, there were a few films that kind of like saw wrestling like a very trashy sport, like something. It is not a trashy sport. It's a very highly skilled and difficult thing to do, and the camaraderie that exists there is incredible. The people that really supportive and of each other in Mexico, there's legends there. I fought El Hijo del Santo. That was
Before I let you go, this is a big role for you. You've worked a long time. Your production company's involved with this. This is Roger's first film. What has this film done for you? Because you're the center of attention. It's a physical role as well, that you can take on to whatever projects you do next. Because this is that, like I said before, you're more on a page. You're working with a first-time filmmaker. Roger's he's directed other projects, but this is his first feature. Was there anything you learned from him that helps you moving on from here as an actor?
Well, I think that one big lesson, I guess, that was learned that with Cassandro is that working with our film family in a way, it is first of all, it is such a joy, but also it's what get things made in a way. It's things made because sometimes the films can start to fall apart, and you just need like sometimes you just need to go person to person and say like, should we shoot tomorrow? Should we do this tomorrow? Should we do this tomorrow? And everyone says yes, 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 and that's all you need. Like you don't need like to ask permission from like let's say the studio or anything like that. Like it's just a question of like, let's get together and let's do this, and let's jump on this, like more or less like a theater play, or like a small production in a independent, very small production. So that is incredibly important, and that's what also helped that film family that we've been nurturing for many years, and I've been working with them for a long time, is what helped Roger also be able to make this film as well. So that is a big lesson. Like it's good to go into a place where everyone knows each other and kind of knows what's happening. Yeah. So I want to keep on working like that as well. I want to keep on like incorporating people into the film family that we've been building for many years.
Congratulations on this role. Congratulations on the film. I'm sure we'll talk down the road because you're always working. I followed your work for a long time and will continue to do so. Take care of yourself.
Excellent. Thank you. You too. Take care,
All right.
Wilson.